divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth in the divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from none other than the fifth dimension, as always, bringing you the news to infuse, if you so choose to infuse with that light grid activation. And you know, as I've been saying, if you're not infusing with the light, you may get fried on the grid and being fried. Peace, peace, love, and light. I am coming to you now within the, I want to say, coming out of the tail end of the bewitching hours. I've been up for quite some time. For those of you who know, it's time pushing time for me. So this is really like evening hours for me, although it's the crack of dawn. It's like between lunch and dinner time for me. Peace, peace to you all in this time frame that I'm bringing you in. So this is a little bit of a lot. Like, I feel like I'm being called for the past hour, really thinking to speak on while I was in these bewitching hours, the interstellar view and how it is out of the reach. I'm not even quite sure what I want to title this right now, except the interstellar view being out of the reach of the demonstrations. Demonstrations. I've been talking about these energies and I feel that they are just upset. I done pissed some spirits off, some energies, some entities, the parasitic energies. I know I'm pissing them off, but I'm sitting here still in my, I'm oracling in my oracle vibes and bringing to you what this, and you will know who this is for. I'm speaking to my star seeds. I'm speaking to the 5D, people in 5D, the light bodies that are in 5D, the light warriors that are in 5D, because there is a warfare. As we be hearing it, it's a warfare. It's been going on. This is a tactic, and I gotta be careful with my words. Those who have eyes to see, ears to hear, and know how to listen in between with the third eye. I'm gonna need you to tune up, turn up your third eye and tune up, because there are certain ways in which I am being tasked with speaking of this, because certain things aren't to be put out there. As they say, the revolution will not be televised. I'm feeling, I'm tasked with this important message, but being very keen on how to express it, right? Being in Virgo season. I'm in my Virgo season. Happy Virgo new moon, as it is dawning literally, the dawn upon us. And I'm going to do a live later on the Virgo moon. I haven't done a live with you all, so I'm going to do a live on the Virgo moon later on in this day, which would be like morning for me. But with that, before I go any further, let's stick a pin right there. If you've made it this far, those who, please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment if you dare, leave emojis if you don't have, if you don't know what to say, because it helps to the algorithms to reach those star seeds like ourselves in the remote places. It helps get to who it needs to get to, right? And with that, those of you with the calendars, there we go. I got one response. Thank you for the response for the Geronimo person. There are still 3 more I'm waiting to hear first so I can get your calendars to you. And that is Rhonda Calvin, I Am, and Stacy Holder. So if you can, please email. The email will be in the description below so that we can get your calendars to you. Let me know 2 things, as I've said: your address and your personalized, the name you would have personalized on your calendar. So please find me in the email at a 5D corner near you where you found me already. I need you to go back in that 5D store and continue to fill out your information so I can get that to you, right? Anything else? No, no. Okay, so let me pick that pen back out and let's go into this interstellar view, which let me explain what the interstellar view is, and then I will go into what it is we're supposed to be having, how we meet in the interstellar view, why it is important to be out of the reach of the demonstrations, because they've been demonstrating, right? They've been cutting up in a nice way too. This is why I'm being shown to speak on this, because it's been happening in such a nice way that a lot of star seeds may not even be realizing the demonstrations, the distractions of the demonstrations, right? And so that's why it is important that we do what we do in the interstellar view. So the interstellar view is exactly what it sounds. Inter, that's why we gotta listen to the words. Inter meaning between, and stellar, the stars, like interstellar, right? So the interstellar view is the view that we hold, the space that we hold. Is when we hold a view, when we are in a space, right? Within our time-space reality, we find a space to hold this interstellar view where the parasitic energies cannot reach in. And I mean even within our own minds, as I've said before when I did that video on, this is when I pissed them off too. When I did that video speaking on the monitoring spirits, the surveillance spirits, you could kind of say this is like a expansion of that video, a part 2 even, or a follow-up. There you go. It's like a follow-up visit to that video. For those who haven't seen it, if you didn't get a chance, I did it maybe 2 videos prior to this one. Look at that video that I did on the monitoring spirits, surveillance spirits. Not only did I do that video here, but I also talked about it in my Facebook Live as well. And that's where I could feel a lot of the kickback, a lot of the reaction. So I know that I'm getting it here too. I felt it more there because I do a live. So in the live, I can sense more of the energies. I can sense more of the kickback and the pull. Like the way the kickback is it's not like a, it's more like a, I'm pulling on you. I'm pulling on you because you've said some things. You've said some things that it's like throwing stones at the hit at what they say, the hit dog hollers. That's what I'm seeing. Which is confirmation for why we need to have this interstellar view, which is something I spoke about. Those of you who are in our community that we've been building, our starseed community, Syrian starseed, we have been talking about the interstellar view. We have been practicing having the interstellar view in our practices through certain meetings, and this is why it is that important. So the interstellar view, to give that explanation. Okay, we want to come through. We want to come through. The interstellar view is between the stars, so it's having that view. Okay, I did. Spirit is saying, okay, you did explain that. Yeah, we don't want to waste time repeating nothing, and especially since I have to be careful with my words on what it is. So it is exactly as I've said, meeting between the stars, meeting in that space between, and it's outside of the domains of where the parasitic energy can reach in, including in your own thoughts. Because let me be clear, as I've always said, demons are simply the unhealed wounds. The unhealed wounds in you, the unhealed wounds in others, what they know and what they don't know, and especially what they don't know. The ones I am speaking of are the ones who do not know. They are not aware. They're not consciously aware of their wounds. So there are distractions that are reaching in, right? Reaching into all of us individually. Distractions within you, within your own mind, and distractions around you. And it is according to it is playing on your fears, definitely playing on your fears, because fears tell lies in the dark, right? So they will have you believe, right? The dark is usually the unknown, and some people will mistake that unknown for, it could be good or bad, because it's the dark, it's the unknown. All of the unknown comes out of there. Everything comes out of the darkness. Out of the darkness comes the light. Just the darkness and the light in the darkness. So it is to be known that we have susceptibility to be, what is the word, to be pimped by the darkness, to have things set up for us. There's things that people may come around, things may come up, but it's really a ruse. And this is why we really have to be practicing these illusions, knowing what these illusions are. We have to operate in our wisdom. We really got to use our third eye. This is third eye activity that I am speaking of. So it is sharpening us. We have to put ourselves in a place and in a position where we are so honest with ourselves that we are aware of, see, and as I came out here, the rain literally just started as soon as I sat down. Mind you, I've been, just to explain some of the fight that even I've been getting. I was supposed to do this video like maybe 3 days ago, right? The day right after the last video. That's why you haven't seen me. It's either been pouring down, raining, and especially at the time when I'm about to come out and do the video, or it's just been an energy that just like kind of goes around me, and it's just like I'm in sit down mode. I literally had to fight through that energy to say no, it needs to be done, because I'm feeling more impressed to speak on this matter, specifically about the distractions of the demonstrations, and how it's like a pull, and it wants to pull on us, and it wants to tap in. And so we have to rise to that interstellar view. We have to get to that higher grounds, those higher altitudes, even within our own mind, and be using our wisdom even with our own thoughts and feelings. I'm saying this in a way that faithfully you're able to pick up and understand, because we can't say everything out loud. We can't even think everything out loud. We have to be careful with our thoughts and what we're inviting in, because everything is entangled in our mind, right? Whatever unhealed wounds and stuff like that, all of that are a part of our soul. So there would be the distractions, right there, ready to be the gateways. There you go. Like there's these gateway thoughts and these gatewayers that are keeping tab, are leaning in, are pulling on us, right? Whether in our own soul or others around us who are pulling on us, who are reaching in. And the way that they're coming in, which we're not realizing, is very surveillance like. They may be asking questions. They may be offering to help. They may be, and I literally had a phone call about 2 days ago where I had to say, and I noticed that it came right after I did the Facebook live video about these, basically these monitoring type demonic spirits within ourselves and from others, like families, friends, things like that. And so the call came out, and it was to sound very friendly, very, hey, how's everything going? Hey, I'm here with you. But wisdom was telling me otherwise. As polite as it sounded, it was to know that, no, there's something here. You have said something. You have done something that is disturbing and annoying those energies that are existing in others, that know not of themselves, right? They don't even know. But it's like I said, throwing a stone into a pack of dogs, a hit dog hollers. So the ones that are jumping out, these are the ones whose energies are offended, right? The whole database is offended by something that you've said, something that you've done. As we climb the higher altitudes of the mountain, right? As we help to thin the veils, as I said, the more of us that climb the mountain, the more of us that thin the veils. The veils are thinning because of what we are doing. When you climb a mountain, the air gets thinner. So the higher we get, the more, especially as a collective, the more of us help to push the timeline. So this is like a way to it's like I'm getting snatching back the timelines type of thing. Like they feel the separation. As you may see, there's a lot of people that have been talking about it. I did a video not too long ago about timelines collapsing. There's been a lot of people talking about the timelines specifically within the last month, especially after the Halls of Amenti Gateway, Lions Gateway, where you feel even more the timelines are really splitting, and they don't like those feelings. The more that we are stepping into our light, the more it is a threat to them, if you get what I'm saying. So when we exchange our information, that's why I said this is really like a warning as well. We must be careful when we're exchanging our information. If you're not as adept, I want to say, as strong, as well practiced, a strong practitioner, right, as I am, right? And I'm not saying it to put not putting myself on any type of, what do you call it, high horse pedestal, whatever you want to call it, but I'm speaking truth. If you have not been practicing this practical application and sharpening your higher self, training your flesh in a strong sense of self-discipline that knows how to look itself in the mirror and deny the flesh, deny the thoughts and feelings that you would like to tell yourself. If you do not know how to override your personal preferences, or if you have not practiced detaching from your egoic attachments, I don't care how good you claim to be. If you have not practiced that, you are, as I've said, are only going to be as strong as your weakest link. So whatever that is that you hold value to, your preferences, right? You may not see it like that readily. This may be happening with you unconsciously and subconsciously. If you have not done the shadow work, the deep soul exfoliating shadow work to peel back and remove these things, and not just remove them, but to also train yourself to continue to see them daily, to continue to be like your strongest watchman and look out, so that as something is coming, you are ready for it, rather than saying, I've dealt with this, so then you end up denying it. A lot of people don't realize that they've worked on some things, so then they feel like, I've done that, so they don't continue to look out for it. If you have not developed that strong ability, that strong sense of accountability and responsibility in your soul, then you are susceptible. You are more susceptible than I am, because we're all susceptible, but you are more susceptible to invasions of the parasitic energy within your own mind. You will self-sabotage, right, and not even know it. So we must practice seeing what this is, hearing what it is, and then going into the interstellar view and having that conversation with yourself where you don't even mention certain words, but you know what it means, because we cannot give it to the parasitic energy. We cannot have the parasitic energy be privy to these words, so to speak, to these it's not even just words. It's hard to even put into words. It's certain awarenesses, certain information, certain awarenesses of knowing. It's when we awaken the ancient ones in us, and I think that's the key word that I can use, if you get what I'm saying. It's awakening the ancient ones in you, in your bloodline, because it's in your blood, it's encoded in your blood. And when you awaken that ancient one, it's for you to hear and know what is being passed down in the codes without saying it and putting it out there, or even impressing it upon your thoughts too much. Hold it in the interstellar view. We have to practice more, as the group that our small community is doing. We have to practice more meeting up in the interstellar view. We have to practice the interstellar view in our own minds, and then collectively, as a group, as a light warrior group. And I'm saying to do this only with light warriors, and you will know who they are. You will know who the light warriors are that are there with you to practice meeting in the interstellar view, right, and sharing information there, because the distractions are really pulling on us, and they're tapping in. Those surveillance spirits are tapping in, and even more so right now. And they want to do it while we think that things are calm, because in this season, in this Virgo season, things are a little more calm. We've done a lot of the legwork in the last season, so things are a little more calm. We're working on I want to say the healer part, access of it, we're settling into some things, but I want to say don't get too settled. Don't be too compliant, right? Look around you, sharpen your view on these demonstrations that are distractions that are definitely reaching in, and I must say they are definitely coming in with smiling faces. With they're comparing with you and you don't even know it. They're speaking to you on the things that you have been doing, even if not directly, indirectly, because they know of your light. They know what you're doing, right? This is a surveillance spirit's job. Even if they haven't, you might say, well, I haven't spoken to them in such a long, it doesn't matter. You may say, well, even though I've spoken to them, I haven't spoken to them about this and what I'm doing. It doesn't matter. They are aware because the information is in the field. The information is in the energetic field, right? And as you are connected to them, that is how they know. There's the energetic proximity because you have invested energy with them, or they have invested energy with you, and you have not detached. That is how they're getting their information. They may not know exactly to the T what you're doing, but they know something is up. And they feel that tug in the timeline. It's like a tug in the timeline, and they want to tap in. It's almost like they want to kind of pull you back. They don't like that we are, because the more we do this, the more we push the timeline collectively, as I've been saying. This is something we're doing on the light grid activation. The more of us that light up on the light grid and infuse on the light grid as a part of the light grid activation work, we push the timelines, right? It doesn't have to be a big group of us, right? The more, all we need is a collective of us. Collective, there's power in collective work. There's power in collective, divine collective work, which I call divine synergy, the collective energy. That divine synergy, those collectives that are operating in divine synergy, the light, aka the light colonies, are pushing the timelines even more, and they are feeling it. They are feeling it. So that's the stone that they're feeling that's being thrown. Like, we're not doing anything. Those of us that are doing the light work, we're not attacking them, but they feel attacked as the timelines push even more. It's like throwing stones in at them, and the hit ones are hollering out. The ones who really feel it in some way, shape, or form, they feel it, and they don't even know how, but they feel it according to their wounds. And the tricky thing is because it's wounds that they have that they're not aware of. So when they come to you, they don't even know that they're speaking to you out of their deficiencies and out of their wounds. And so it's almost like they're pleading their case, if I can explain what it looks like and what it sounds like. It's almost like, so this has been happening, and they may be telling you, you know, that's been happening, and in a certain type of even comparison type way, but they may not realize it. Maybe feel like slight competition, right? Not that they're competing, but it can feel like that, if I can explain what it feels like. But a comparison and a pleading of the case, so to speak. It's almost like you may hear a whisper in your head of like guilty conscience, like someone's guilty here. You may sense it. There's some, because they are, right? Those energies are guilty, whether they know it consciously or not. And so we got to be, if anything, I would say that. Look out for that. If you don't know what to look out for, those my empathic people, those who are super sensitive, do not question it. If you feel the slightest sense of, there's some guilt here, I don't care how big of a smile they have on their face, how friendly they are being to you, and especially in that way, because that is how they're coming. There is some guilt there, and they are in bondage, in almost imprisonment. They are in the prison of the demonstrations, you know, the parasitic energy, and they're operating through that, and they're trying to tap in, peek in, surveillance in. And so we must go into the interstellar view. We got to go to that space in between, is what I call it, the space in between, and keep it that way. And I'm hearing that especially from the ancestors. Another thing to make sure I share to everyone is and I may do a separate video on this, but the ancestors is coming through. The ancestors, that's another thing that held me off the other night. Actually, I literally had a night where a lot of ancestors were just coming through. They were all coming through, and I'm like, there's something going on in the realms where it's like it's busy. They lit up, like the phone lines are lighting up, and the ancestors are really wanting us to be about our soul's business, to not fall for the distractions, to not try. This is a time where, from what I'm hearing, to not try to lean in to save anybody. Be there for them is one of the messages I was getting. They see where they are. Be there for them. And they can only, what I've been getting is a lot of bids. They've been putting in their bids for who they would like me to say something to. But they are aware that it may not, it may be falling on deaf ears, right? It's at the point where they're in a desperate, the ancestors are in a desperate mode of pleading, and they are bidding. They're bidding for you. That's what I may do it, the video on. The ancestors are putting in the bids, right? They're bidding for you. And so I say that because in regards to the interstellar view, one of the messages that I got, I had to know that even as I was getting the message, to not repeat it back, to not even overthink on the message that was coming through. It was a certain piece of information that you just do not, it is not to be said. And that's why I said the key word, what I'm saying to you all, is ancient ones. That is the only word that I could use to connect it, that what was being explained to me had to do within our bloodline, understanding and tapping into the ancient ones within us, the ancient ones that are returning within us. Understand that in the interstellar view, and hold it there. Do not speak of it. And this is how I know there are some things that we are not to even write books on, because as I got that, one of the first thoughts that came to me was like, wow, there should be a book on this. And then I heard Spirit go, no, there shouldn't. These are one of the things. There are some people that are putting out books on specific important information that we allow the opposition and the parasitic energy to be privy to. And those are the dangers. Once they're privy to it, they tap in, and they know how to tap into the new souls that are coming in. They know how to tap into other ways. So we have to keep it sacred. There we go. We have to have a sacred space in our minds, and we have to keep it sacred space even within our own souls, and between others. Words without words. Like, we have to have certain information. Like I'm saying, the key word to you, ancient ones, ancient ones. That's all that I can give. What light codes that activates in you is something else. So you will know. It will show you more and highlight more to you. If not right now in this video, you may get the rest of it in a dream. That's the only way I'm being allowed to share that light code and that information. The ancient ones that are within you, that are allowing certain timelines to cross in certain way, right? And how that light codes resonate with you. If it's in your DNA to have those light codes, you will have it, right? It will be given unto you. And as you get it, what I'm saying to you is the same thing I'm getting. Do not go into breaking it down. Even as you get the breakdown and you understand it, do not break it down to anyone. Do not even break it down to yourself within your mind. As soon as you get it, it's, I got it. And that's it. Keep it in the interstellar view, between the stars, star seeds that we are, between the stars, right? Because they reaching in and they tapping in. And I had to say that in the earliest hours. As you can see, the sun is now coming up even more. And I made sure I came out and did it in the bewitching hours. If there's more, the end of the bewitching hours at that. If there's more on the interstellar view, and I know there is, I know I'm going to have to talk on it some more, because this is kind of like a new terminology that came through as we were actually practicing it. It was a practice that was given to me to do with the group, and I did not even know that it was called interstellar view until we all met up, and it came out through one of our star seeds in the group. And it was like, you know what, that's exactly what this is. It was an interstellar view practice. So I invite you all to practice that with yourselves. Even in meditation, practice within your meditation to be able to be drawn into a space of interstellar view. And it's good when you can practice it when you're around. You don't even have to be in a meditative place. You know, you could be in a loud space. That's actually really practicing the self-discipline. And you can just draw yourself within. Just take a deep breath and like and bring yourself into this interstellar space, even though you amongst everyone else, and you can probably still hear them, you can probably still see them. Your eyes don't have to be closed. Right? That's the first time I experienced it, without even knowing what it was. But you can be in this very busy place and just bring yourself into the interstellar view, in the interstellar space, that space in between. And it's like, and everything else is just as it is, doing what it does. But what they're doing, they can't peek into where you are. You're having an interstellar view moment. Right? And that's how it has to be in our minds with the distractions, meaning like, and this is how it is in our mind. We got the monkey mind. We got many thoughts going on. And as those thoughts are going, and you wondering this and wondering that and preparing for this and preparing for that, all these thoughts, especially right now during Virgo season, when everyone is inclined to be like getting our affairs in order, it is for us to have something to say and just breathe. It is for us to do that. I think that's why I was being guided to do that. Like, maybe they want me to exemplify. Not maybe, they do. It's as simple as that. As you saw me going and going, that's how our mind is going. And we just have to, because breathing is the bridge. It's the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. So you want to breathe to cross that bridge. Cross that bridge, make your connection into the interstellar view of your mind and your soul. And in that space, it's like no matter what else is going on and around, you're into that space where they can't quite get in, right? And what you have there, you hold there, you keep there. It's not to bring out and about and share with every single body, right? Some things we just can't say out loud. The distractions are there. So 2 things. Go into the interstellar view and be very careful and aware of the distractions of the demonstrations, because it's happening, and they're reaching in. So be very mindful of the smiles and the way that people are checking in on you and checking up on you, under the disguise of simply checking in. And you know, I'll leave that there, you know, and know the difference between the two. There are some that are genuinely true. Like I said, the key is feeling out. If you feel a little bit of sensing some kind of guilt coming off of them, or you may hear or sense, it's like, guilt. What is that? You know, there's something there in that energy that they may not even be aware of. Don't accuse them because they're not aware of it. I can tell you they're not. So with that said, I'm going to leave that right there. The interstellar view of it. Get into your interstellar view and look out for the demonstrations of the distractions. And that is what is said. Let your ancestors come in. Let your guides come in, because they are definitely wanting to come in and putting in their bids with you. So listen keenly if you're having the dreams, things like that. Those are, you know, what I would say to look out for, right? That's my oracling view on the interstellar view. With that said, each one reach one, teach one. I just jumped right into that. Reminder, there we go. With that said, before each one reach one, teach one. Reminder of the calendars, the 5D calendars is still here. You just got to come and meet me at a 5D corner near you. Tap into your 5D and you will find that interstellar view of the 5D calendars. That's a whole nother view and perspective in itself. So get your 5D calendars at a 5D corner near you. Remember to like, subscribe, share if you've made it this far. Comment, leave an emoji if you don't know what to say. That's okay anyway. And with that, each one reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. Peace, love, and light.